Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing our series of videos with respect to information, education, inspiration, guidance, advice, and I want to do one more story about the Seer of Lublin. He was quite elderly at this time, and his granddaughter, Hinda, was being married. And at the reception, they were celebrating, and they were saying the gifts that various people brought for the bride and the groom. The Seer of Lublin, Yaakov Yitzhak, he put his head in his hand, and he seemed to be falling asleep. He seemed to be dozing off. He was quite elderly at this point. And the master of ceremonies called out again and again, wedding gifts from the family of the bride, and pointed people out. And every once in a while, wedding gifts from the family of the bride, and he would motion toward the Rav Yaakov Yitzhak, the Seer of Lublin. Like he dozed off again and again. This went on for quite some time, until basically they had gone through everything, and the only one left was the Seer of Lublin, still head in his hand. And the people were waiting for him to say something, for the Yaakov Yitzhak to say something. The Seer of Lublin's son whispered into his father's ear, his father, they're calling for wedding gifts from the bride's family. Old Rabbi Yaakov Yitzhak started up from his meditations. He says, I will give myself. After 13 years, the gift will be delivered. People didn't know what he was saying. He was getting on. Shortly thereafter, Rabbi Yaakov Yitzhak HaLevi Horowitz passed away. His granddaughter Hinda had trouble conceiving. 13 years after her wedding, she bore a son, and she named it Yaakov Yitzhak after her grandfather, the baby's great-grandfather, the Seer of Lublin. This baby grew up, and he resembled his great-grandfather in every way, in his stature, in his looks, to every detail. For example, his right eye was slightly bigger than his left eye, just like the Seer of Lublin. And it was then that his granddaughter Hinda and everyone realized that when the Seer of Lublin says, I give myself, and the gift will be delivered in 13 years, he was talking about his great-grandson. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines of other great Hasidic leaders, from the early masters to the later masters. Please watch, please listen, please learn, and until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.